All right, let's talk about the real mindset behind some pretty exceptional achievement. If you've ever felt like you're on this lonely path, just grinding away while absolutely no one is watching, well, then this journey is for you.
This quote right here, this is really the heart of our entire journey today. It just perfectly captures that huge disconnect between the results people see and envy and the actual process they are so unwilling to go through. Everyone sees the trophies, right? But they rarely, if ever, see the training ground.
So let's start with that climb. This first part is all about what our source material calls the lonely chapter. And it's that difficult, often totally invisible period of struggle that pretty much every single successful person has had to walk through. In this slide, it just breaks down the whole myth of overnight success perfectly. People see the win, they see the final product, and they think, wow, must be nice. But they're completely blind to the years of lonely nights, the uncertainty, and just the relentless work when no one, and I mean no one, was watching. That's the part they just conveniently ignore.
This is such a crucial point. In a movie, the struggle is just this quick, cool montage with some pump-up music, but in reality, it's a multi-year grind with absolutely no guarantee of a happy ending. It's this long, brutal period with zero promise of glory. The only thing you can be certain of is that every other successful person you look up to went through it too.
So look, if this is starting to feel intensely personal, that's kind of the point. This is the lonely chapter. It's that super awkward in-between space where you've started to change, so you don't really fit in with your old circle anymore, but you haven't gotten the results yet to join a new one. It's isolating, for sure, but it is also a crystal clear sign that you are on the path.
Okay, so once you're on the path, you run into what the source calls the dragon in the middle. And this is where you face the real obstacles, the ones inside your own head and the ones coming from the outside world. Now, this cycle is a total game changer to understand. You start out with this uninformed optimism, right? Thinking, oh, this is going to be amazing, it'll be easy. Then, boom, reality hits, and you slide right into informed pessimism. But the most crucial point here is step 3, the valley of despair. This is where almost everybody quits. They take path A, they jump to some other shiny new idea, and then they just repeat the cycle forever. The winners? Well, they take path B. They stick with it, pushing and clawing their way through to informed optimism and eventually to success.
And here's where the social part of this all gets, well, tricky. When you're just starting out, sleeping on the gym floor, chasing some crazy dream, people love it. You're the underdog. They cheer for you because your journey kind of reminds them of their own dreams.
But the second you actually succeed, the whole mood shifts. All of a sudden, you're not an inspiration anymore. Nope. Now, you're a painful reminder of the dreams they abandoned. So what do? They try to tear you down. The hidden truth is, people want you to do well, just not better than them.
So how in the world do you handle that? You have to get this definition deep in your bones. To be exceptional is, by its very nature, to be different. You are the exception to the rule. So if normal people find you abnormal, it doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're on exactly the right track. You cannot fit in and be exceptional at the same time. It's one or the other.
And that brings us to the most critical part, the actual mindset that wins. This is your unfair advantage. It's the collection of mental tools that separates you from everyone else who quits back in that valley of despair. Okay, so check out this famous story. A pottery teacher splits the class into 2 groups. Group A, on the left, will be graded on making just one single perfect pot. Group B, on the right, will be graded purely on the total weight of all the pots they produce, just sheer quantity.
So who do you think actually created the highest quality work? Was it the group totally focused on perfection, or the group focused on just pumping out volume?
The answer was the quantity group. It's not even close. While the quality group was busy theorizing about what a perfect pot would look like, the quantity group was just making pots. Making pot after pot, learning from their mistakes with every single rep. And the big takeaway here is this: volume negates luck. Taking massive action is how you brute force your way to excellence.
This next concept is so powerful. We tend to think of traits like courage as feelings, but they're not. They are defined purely by your actions. You don't have to feel brave to be courageous. You just have to do the scary thing. Seriously, how you feel about it is completely irrelevant to the outcome.
And this right here is how you actually apply that. Stop beating yourself up for having thoughts of doubt or fear. Everybody has them. Your identity isn't built on what you think. It's built on what you do. Every single action is like another penny on the scale.
just more undeniable proof of the person you're becoming.
And finally, let's talk about the end game. What does winning actually look like? It's not about proving people wrong. It's about something much, much bigger than that.
So the source tells this fantastic story about a mentor, and his student wanted to get revenge on some high school bullies. The mentor told him that showing up to the reunion just to say, "Look at me now," is pathetic. All it proves is that they lived in your head all those years. Which means, well, they won. The only real path is to win so big that you literally forget they ever existed.
And this is the mic drop. The ultimate victory isn't about confrontation. It's about outgrowing your critics to the point where they become totally irrelevant. Your success becomes so immense that they simply disappear into your shadow.
But getting there, it requires this. During that long, soul-crushing middle part of the journey, when nobody is cheering for you, you have to be your own support system. It feels like a single person clapping in a vast, empty auditorium. And that person has to be you.
This is the final mental flip you need to make. Instead of seeing difficulty as a stop sign, you need to see it as a filter. Hardship is your competitive advantage. The very fact that something is hard is a guarantee that most people will give up, leaving the entire field wide open just for you.
So let's end on this thought. Getting what you want is one huge challenge, but keeping it, that requires a whole different ongoing set of sacrifices. The work doesn't just stop at the finish line. So the real question isn't just what you'll do to get there. It's what are you willing to give up day after day to stay there.